Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello and welcome back to JK's Corner. My name is Joke. Thank you for stopping on my channel today. Today, I am actually recording quite a sad video. I actually had no intention of recording this video, but I was having a discussion or a chat about it in the DM with one of my lovely sisters. And our discussion led me to think that, you know what, I think I should make a video about it. Our generation we're too far down in how indoctrinated we are in our ways. But I would really love and hope that we live a society that values life as much as we value marriage. Because the narrative that marriage is such an achievement to the point that women are gaslit into staying regardless of how it is affecting them. I believe that many of you that will see this video would know the affair of Diary of a Niger Girl. On Friday, yes, she posted a message on her Instagram. I'll read it to you now. A lady wrote to me last year, a sexually transmitted bacteria, then in brackets, gotten from her husband, had spread to her uterus. While apologizing, her husband said, STI no longer kills people. There's always a way to manage it. She didn't want me to post, she just needed somebody to rant to. And then the next page of the message reads, checking my DM now, I see that this lady's sister wrote to me 2 weeks ago. The sister that passed on from complications from pelvic inflammatory disease. The bacteria spread from the vagina to the ovaries, fallopian tubes, and womb. So from this STI that was contracted from her husband, that now traveled to her womb, traveled to all reproductive organs. And yes, you can argue that because she didn't treat it on time, may have caused the death. Yes, you will be right in assuming that. But how would it have been if the society that we live in as Nigerians, especially, that's to my knowledge, values human life as much as it regards marriages? Wouldn't we have so many more women who are alive today? I can't even begin to tell you how many women have died only this year in the hands of their husbands, only in Nigeria. One woman from January to May is too many women anyway. But to now even start counting women and actually counting women who have died because of their husbands, it shouldn't be so. Our society needs to value the lives of women. This woman now, or women in her positions who continue to remain with husbands who do not value the lives of their wives by going out to, be reckless in how they relate with people, getting STIs or STDs from women outside or from other sources outside and passing it to the wives that they have at home. Wives who, in many cases, are the mother of their children. And then this woman dies. This husband is going to replace that woman in a few years' time. And it's sad to also note that our society is so terrible that in a case like this, they may not actually even say the cause of her death to outsiders, which means that maybe an unsuspecting woman would go ahead and marry this man again. And maybe she might then even suffer the same fate as this poor woman did. It's just such a sad state of affairs that our culture has enabled so many women to live in this kind of shame that make them think that remaining married is more important than having a healthy life. I don't even know the purpose of this message here today, but I really hope that somehow it makes us women to girls, start to think how to make women or girls think the purpose of marriage is. A lot of times, girls are told that, when you get married, you have to endure you have to just understand that men always cheat. Not all men cheat. Let's just put it out there. And I pray that you watching this will be married to a man that doesn't cheat. a man that values your life as much as he values his life. But even if you do unfortunately marry a man that cheats, I pray that you do not let societal expectation tie you down in that marriage to the point that you stay on and potentially lose your life. Or even if you don't lose your life, battle a life-changing illness, or even, even if it's not life-changing, something that makes you resent the idea of marriage so much. There are good marriages out there. We just don't hear enough about them. Several weeks ago, I posted a series. I will link it up here on good marriages. I wish that the idea of evil eye doesn't tie us so badly that we are so scared of sharing the goodness in some of our marriages. But I really want to say that women, we did, even if the society doesn't value our lives enough, we should value our life enough not to remain in a marriage that is detrimental to our well-being or and detrimental to our health. We shouldn't raise our children in a way to believe that marriage is such an achievement that if you are not married, all your other achievements are not valid. All achievements are valid. I'd love to see a society where we value premarital or marital education as much as we value education into being a tech bro, a tech sis, education in being a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, those sorts of high value courses that leads us to have successful careers which would last with us for several years. I'm hoping that we are able to prioritize learning about good marriages, learning how to be a good husband in a marriage, learning how to be a good wife in a marriage, and not just learning about that, but learning how to say no to negative stereotypes, learning how to stand a firm ground when things aren't going well in your marriage, and not just because you're having issues, but because you are having problems that society is asking you, especially as a woman, to accept it as part of life. If it's not right, I hope we are able to understand that we shouldn't remain in that marriage. So just wanted to kind of like share my thoughts around how I felt reading that story yesterday. It really did make me sad to think that a woman, regardless of how good or bad a person she is, normally had to lose her life because her husband chose to go outside of his marriage to seek sexual relations with someone who then decided to bring an infection into his wife's body that ultimately killed her. So many, many sad stories like that about women, but I hope that in a way we are able to exist as women in a society that doesn't make us feel ashamed to live a marriage when a man decides to disregard the essence of our lives. Don't know if you would like to hear me speak more about things like this. If you would, please leave it in the comments and I will definitely try and record more videos like this. Whatever you want me to talk about, leave it in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bye bye.